Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Your Teen. We're having a little bit of technical issues this morning. I don't know why, but some days are just like that, I guess. So hopefully we're coming through to you loud and clear. You know what's great is if you tell us you can see us, then we know it's working. So we want to hear from you. Just say, hi, I see you. And then we don't feel like we're talking to nobody. So today, what we want to talk about is what we have been talking about is how there's some things that even though you don't need them anymore in your life, you just can't seem to part with them. You still may be doing things the old way, whether it has anything to do with parenting or just how you organize yourself. And we were chatting about that and talking about what are some of the things we just can't seem to let go of, even though really nobody does it that way anymore. And I have a kind of a cute one, which is this past weekend, maybe 2 weekends ago, when the weather wasn't so great, I organized a desk drawer, which was a huge accomplishment for me. And I found in the desk drawer a whole bunch of those teeny tiny little photos that come with your school photo packet. You know, when you get the school photo packet, and you get the 8x10, and you get the 2 5x7s for the grandparents, and you get all the little wallet size ones. Those are fine. Those we know what to do with. What the heck do you do with those tiny little ones that are like too big for a locket, not big enough to put in a frame? You put them in a drawer, is apparently what you do. I cannot throw away a school photo to save my life. Even if it's a terrible school photo, I have them, all of them. So this was kind of fun. My kids are old enough now that they wouldn't be offended by this. I took their little tiny photos and I stuck them on the fridge on top of more current photos. So it's really cute. It's like a little side-by-side time capsule then and now. And these were like from 3rd and 4th grade. So they didn't have the braces and the acne and whatever else that they hated when they were teenagers. Those photos, those could stay in a drawer. That's just for you to keep. Or I do this too. It's like if you ever put it behind in the photo frame and you put the most current one on top, it's such a beautiful time capsule. Then later when you go and pull them out, you've got 10, however many years fit in there of all their, and you watch them grow up before your eyes. Just pull out the tissues before you do that. I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so that's the one thing I can't part with is school photos. Even the most horrible, wretched school photos cannot part with them. Jody, what is it that you cannot part with?
Morning, everyone. I'm actually a pretty good purger, because I don't like clutter. But at the same time, I also, I don't know when this was, but I did open like my nightstand drawer and found it kind of almost stuffed to the gill with these funny little notes that my kids had written to me. And these were like when they were just learning how to write. So it was really kind of creative and inventive spelling. And so I have a few drawers where I have a lot of those things stashed, and I don't think I will be able to, part with them, just because they're so cute and they remind me of the times when my kids loved me, no matter, like at all times, 100%. So, and I knew everything. So of course I can't get rid of those. Other things that I can't part with are more like, for example, I still drive a minivan, even though I don't need to because I don't have to drive carpools. And I love my minivan and I plan to drive it until it just won't work anymore because I love that car and it's just, I can't even explain it. So
Jody, I can't wait. I gotta interrupt. I could not wait to ditch my minivan. To me, it was like, I can't stay. I feel like I'm driving a couch down the highway it's so uncool. I'm sorry, girl, but
I'm not cool. I'm not a car person. I'm not cool. I'm fine with that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I don't know, even like this past weekend, I took my aunt somewhere and she needed to get something. And it was so nice to just be able to put it in the van without having to negotiate. I don't know. I mean, we've had uses for it, but I just love that thing. And I don't know, I still kind of laugh about it. And I honestly, it has gone through some hard living. This is our 3rd one. But I'm not going to get rid of it. So, this past weekend, actually, I did go through my closet and I did a little bit of a purge, but that was hard too, because I think I have this idea in my head that something that I like is actually still fashionable, even though my daughter is very quick. Like she came into my room one time. And this was several years ago. And she said, well, what are you doing? She goes, oh, it's ugly sweater day. I'm looking for a sweater in my closet, of course. So I, actually really took the plunge this weekend and kind of went through a lot of clothes that none of us has really been wearing clothes so much lately anyway, but I went through a lot of things that I was just like, you know what? Haven't worn it, probably not going to wear it. And one thing that I did find that was hard, my mother is a great knitter, and I have still, but I had more, a lot of handmade things that she made me. And I know I won't wear them, but I can't, it's hard for me to get rid of some of them. So I will just put that out there.
Yo, Jody, as a knitter, don't get rid of it. Don't. It's like a stab to the heart. And then you become someone that is not knit worthy.
Okay. Well, exactly. Okay. So that is my dilemma. There is a lot of real estate being used for those sweaters, but I did find that I could not put them in that pile. So thank you, Eka, for validating my holding on to this. And I'll just pass it to you because I know you've got some things to share.
Okay, didn't mean to put you on the spot there, but this is a topic of discussion that comes up at the knit store about if somebody is knit worthy or not. And it's huge because you put a lot of love and care and time into it. So when someone's like, well, I'm going to get rid of it, you're like, seriously? After all that? So just put it out there. Anyway, I took this assignment a little bit differently about things that people have moved on from and maybe I'm still stuck with. So I actually brought some props. So one of them is I still write notes, so I have stationery. I still, believe it or not, I still read books. I have a tablet, but I still read books. And because I read books, I have tons of bookmarks that I still have. The ones that my kids made that they laminated with a little yarn at the top. You know what I'm talking about? I still have those. Oh, there we go. Yep. I still have bookmarks. I know this is so Victorian. I have a journal and it's not a blog and it's for me. So it's mine. And then one last thing, I give gifts still, not just gift cards. So.
Okay. But do you wrap them or do you put them in a gift bag?
A little of both, but you know what? For years, I co-chaired the wrapping paper drive at school. Oh. So I think I might have like 32 rolls left from 9 years of co-chairing that.
Eka, I think I still have some wrapping paper in my basement also. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Not from your drive, by the way.
From Innisbrook, yes. We all did the wrapping paper drive and I have it. But you know what? I think I still do gift bags just because I realized that I'm not as good of a wrapper as I thought I was. And now there's all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, so that's what I have. And I'm going to send it right upstairs to Sharon.
Good morning, everyone. Since Eka, you had props, I felt the need to reach back on my desk and pull out my paper calendar. I don't use Google Calendar, any of that. My theory is I'm on the phone or the screen so much that the appointments and all that will just get lost in the whole mess. Yeah, there is a calendar on the wall, no less. I don't have a wall calendar anymore, Eka, but I do have a family calendar that goes on the refrigerator so that everybody can see, which kid is going where, which night, and blah, 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 and who has driving lessons and this and that. So I guess that is old fashioned too. And I also had one thing, Jen, I was thinking of this before you said it. Photos. This is more aspirational. I cannot let go of the idea that I should have photo albums, not just digital photos. I don't do them. I did one like 10 years ago, but I still.
Sharon,
yes,
I have a hack. I have a hack for you.
Tell me.
This is the best. You're gonna love it. I was also under the misguided idea that I would someday put these loose photos into albums. They were in a big box during COVID, and like you could do this over winter break, sometime when there's really nothing else to do. I gave this box to my children and I gave them a couple of photo albums and I said, can you help me? Can you just go through here and pick out the photos you think are worthy of keeping and stick them in the album? They had the best time making fun of our clothing from the 90s and before. It was like the best thing ever. It was the gift that kept on giving to both of us. So I highly recommend that strategy.
So these were photos from before you even had children that they were helping with.
Oh yeah. I mean, these go back to like, yeah, I mean, before, during, and after, and something happened. Like I just lost my zest for putting them in and sticking them in those plastic sleeves. To them, that was like fun. They had never done that before. It was a brand new thing.
Can I get them to also go through my digital photos and print them out, the ones that are good, and buy the albums and do that? Let's see if I can get them to do that too.
No, they're useless. Sorry.
All right, Kamira, I'm going to pass it down to you.
Okay, I was going to take myself off of mic, but apparently I was not on. So I'm of the same vein as Eka. I took the assignment the way she did. There's one thing I'm going to do that last that I have never given up, that I've always kept. I went digital, but as I got older, like moving into my second half of my century, digital wasn't working for me. So I went back to paper. I have a day planner. I have a notebook. I find that I'm doing better with that. I integrate it with my digital stuff, but I'm really relying on this. But this is what I've never given up. Sticky notes. I am famous for sticky notes. They are everywhere because sometimes I need to know something first thing in the morning. And if a sticky note is on the toaster, I'm going to see it. Do it. Remember to tell whomever. But if it's a pop-up on my phone when people are trying to get out the house, that's not happening. I'm not going to really notice that, or I'll see it and I'll think about it and forget to do it. But if I have a sticky note that I have to peel off because I'm very organized and neat, and I'm not going to want to see the sticky note. So I'm going to see the sticky note, want to throw it in the trash. So I have to do whatever is on the sticky note. So that is my thing. I've never given up. I have heard a lot of reasons why sticky notes are bad for the environment. So I have tried many different types. So if you have any hints on that, I'll appreciate it because I want to be responsible, but I don't want to give them up. I'm going to send it to Mindy.
A couple things very similar, Kamira, with pen and paper, to a lot of us, pen and paper. But I did not bring props, typical Mindy, not prepared for class. I have nothing close to me, but I'll just sort of ditto what everyone said about the photos. We moved recently, really hard to throw out photos. I still have big Tupperware boxes. How can you throw out photos of your babies? But what do you do with them? And purging did that when we moved. But the one thing I cannot give up is on my bed table is paper and pen. And I need that there, and a glass of water. I also have never given a glass of water, but paper and pen, because when I can't sleep or I wake up in the middle of the night and it's like, I have to do, I roll over, write my little self a note on the pad. And then honestly, I can go right to sleep. Now, Kamira, I think I need to take the sticky notes because it might sit there for a week, but at least I'll see it every morning, every night when I go to bed. So maybe those sticky notes would help, that I can't throw them away because I have stickies all over. But that's my pen and paper. And even the grocery store calendars, so much better for myself. I guess I'm old, writing it down, but that's what I cannot give up. So I'm fortunate my husband's in the pen business because I will have an ever flowing supply of pens.
Wait, I didn't know that. Can you hook us up? I love pens. I like rollerball. I have one pen I love, and if they ever stop making this, I'm gonna cry salty tears. I must have my Uniball Vision in blue and black. Fine tip, please.
Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the website after and you go on and you let me know what you want. How about that? That's probably easier. I will throw it on over to Sue. I think Sue, Jessica hasn't gone. Sue, take it away. Or do you want Jessica to go and you close up? Okay, Jessica.
All right, I guess I'm going first. So I'm pretty universally known among my friends and family as a little bit of a hoarder. I have a lot of trouble throwing things out, like old clothes, old shoes, things that don't even fit me anymore. I haven't gotten rid of like any books I've ever gotten, any video games I've ever gotten, just any like art things that my friends have made. They're really proud of. It gave to me as a gift. I can't get rid of any of them. And I think and admittedly a lot of it's stored at my parents' house. So it's, I get to get away with it a little bit more. I think the one that is the strangest that I just can't bring myself to get rid of is I still have a lot of like, old toys, Beanie Babies, little stuffed animals. And some of it's just like, if I ever end up having kids, I think that having some of those like stuff from when I was really little, it would be really nice to pass those down. And of course, giving my dating history, who knows if I'm ever going to have children, but just, I want to give those to family members and have something that like gets passed down, quote unquote. But I'm also, in a younger crowd here, so I don't know if you probably have already given your kids all the things you're planning to know. I see Jen.
Can I just say, Jessica, that reminds me of when big kids still sleep with stuffed animals, like teenagers sleep with their special blankie or their special stuffed animal. Is there anything sweeter than this giant kid cuddling up with a little baby thing? That I don't know.
I do.
That's all I'll say.
I do have. I'm not allowed to name a name because I'm pretty sure they will kill me. But I do know at least one person that just cannot get rid of like the baby blanket.
A grown adult?
Yeah, yeah. Post college,
Yeah.
just like I can't get rid of this. It still means so much to me.
I've known an adult or
but
two
yeah, I
that
guess I'll
did that
pass
too.
it up to Sue then.
Okay, so I have two thoughts. First of all, I also love paper, and I'm thinking that maybe it's our age. Maybe we are still attached to it because that's all I had when I was a kid. And I find that I remember things better when I write them with a pen and paper, and I remember books much better if I'm holding on to them. So I'd be curious if like it dwindles the younger you get, where you've only read a book on Kindle. But I know even some of my younger kids really still prefer reading a book that you hold. I would say that
my kids prefer books.
Yeah,
like paper books. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my daughter, for the third year in a row, for her birthday, asked for a Book of the Month membership. So,
yeah.
So I had a client, and I was in office, and they had a very young staff, and they all used machines, and one of them was in a stress mode, and she didn't realize I was standing behind her, and somebody gave her something in paper. They put on her desk. She's like, paper's horrible. I hate paper. Why are people giving me paper? And I was standing behind her holding my notebook. I was like, ooh.
But the truth is, Kamira, anything that you have to work on, you're going to have to input it to the computer. So you want to get it that way. But it's like other things that it was a hard adjustment for me to go from paper calendar. I'm never an early adapter to those things. And the example that I was thinking about is, as cars get more and more automated, and it's, not just the Tesla anymore that will drive for you. I was like literally having a panic attack with the discussion around me because I've never set my car on cruise control. Like I have it, but I've never set it on it because I don't see any reason to do that. Like there's no advantage to me, and I don't want to learn it. I don't want to spend more time with that. So any of these things, I'm always late to the game. And then I like the things about giving kid stuff away. I always knew that if I held on to something too long, it became nostalgic. So if they outgrew something and I gave it away right away, it had nothing associated with it. But if I forgot and I could now see that little face in that cute snowsuit, I couldn't give it away then. So it was a timing issue for me. I had to get it away quickly before it meant something too deep to me. Okay, so Stephanie is sharing over here. We're going to move her over. Someone else might need to do it. I am having computer. Oh, here we go. Y'all are funny. I have a whiteboard and paper calendars. I use a journal with my son's bookmarks he made. I have my father's Greek cassette. Oh, that's impressive. That I listened to that were all his favorites. That's awesome. I think it's interesting when parents and it's still our age, like as the years go by, that will be less and less. How we still cling to those things. Stephanie, we love you too. Thanks for participating. And Lori had something to say, but I wasn't 100% sure what you were speaking about. So if you want to clarify, we'd love to share that as well. Kamira, tell us who you're talking to tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to be very interesting and a little different. We're going to have two moms of children, teens actually, who have anxiety disorders. And they're going to tell us about their family's journey through their teens' anxiety disorders and how they were diagnosed and what happened in the beginning. And it will help other families if you're going through this process to learn, because they're on the end of having older teenagers now who have been diagnosed and they're getting them ready to launch and stuff. So it will help you learn what happens and what steps to take to get to that point, but also just to know you're not alone. They're going to be brave enough to share their stories. And it's something that most people don't do. So I'm really happy that they're going to be on the show with us tomorrow.
Very exciting. We're looking forward to that. And did we have, Jessica, was there something else to share?
No, I think that was everything.
And
Okay,
Kamara, you're on it. We should say what time, Kamara. That's at
Sorry.
10:30 tomorrow, right?
10:30 Eastern time on
Same time every day, unless we tell you otherwise. We are always on at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, and we love seeing you all here, and hope you'll participate. And tomorrow sounds like a great opportunity. So thank you everyone for being here with us, and see you next week.